Let's make keto chips. 8 chips is 4 grams of net carbs. I'm using Maria and Ricardo's almond flour keto tortillas. There are 6 tortillas in a package. I tend to stack 6 at a time and cut them all at once. Cut the tortillas in half. I'm going to make triangles out of these. Cut the half in half. Cut the fourth in half. You are going to have 8 triangles per tortilla. Dale uses these for nachos. Do the same thing with the other half. Cut it in half and then cut the halves into quarters. Triangles make a sturdier chip to hold taco meat and cheese. Dale also eats these alongside his enchiladas. Place them in a baggie until you have all of the triangles you want, and then set them aside for frying. Now I'm going to make strips. Cut your tortilla in half again, then cut the first long strip from that half. Take the other half of tortillas and cut another long strip. These are the same size. Keep these together. That'll make it easier when you portion out your servings. I number my baggies to help me remember. Now cut the next strip, which is a medium-sized strip. Then you're going to do the same thing on the other half and keep these sizes together. Again, this will help you when you portion them out into serving sizes. You don't want to get all big chips in one serving and all tiny chips in another serving. Altogether, each tortilla is going to be cut into 8 strips, 4 strips per half. And the end strips are easiest to recognize because they have that curved edge. Do the same with the number of tortillas for the desired number of servings you want. I am making Dale a whole month's worth of chips. He eats the strips at lunch every day. They actually come out crispier cut into these long, thin strips. They just don't feel as thick as triangles. He also likes that they'll curl up in the oil. This is another method of keeping your sizes together. It goes a little quicker too. And place them in the baggies that you've already started. Longest one, I label those number 4. The next size in my number 3 baggie. The smaller size in my number 2 baggie. And the tiniest in my number 1 baggie. The size of your strips will vary because some tortillas are pressed flatter than others. Heat your oil to 350 degrees. I'm using refined coconut oil. Then have your tortilla strips nearby and ready. Carefully place about 8 tortillas worth of strips in your oil. Be careful that it doesn't bubble over. The bubbles are the moisture cooking out. And be careful, those bubbles create steam that can burn you. Constantly stir and turn over your chips. See what I'm doing with my frying spoon? Keep stirring. You want them nice and golden brown. You don't want any light spots left or they'll get soggy in the baggies. Drain the oil, and I'm placing them on this cookie sheet. See where I fried all of the end pieces together, and I moved them to one edge of the pan. Now I'm doing the longest strips, and these can clump together. So see how I shake them apart? The more crowded your oil, the more curly they'll be. See, here's a light spot. that means it needs more time. Let the oil drain off, then put them all together on the cookie sheet. You could add salt now if you want, but we don't find a need for salt. This is the next size strip, my number 3 bag. And again, be careful of the steam when you put these in. Never leave your oil unattended. And if you're not familiar with frying, go slowly. See how I shake them apart? Dale likes them curly, so I tend to crowd the pot. The sea salt tortillas also fry up crispier than the flax seed. I tried those, and it's easy to have undercooked chips that won't stay fresh. When the chips are ready, there's very few bubbles in your oil because most of the moisture has cooked out. I'm putting these number 3 length strips on one side of my pan. Now I'm going to fry some triangles. They're going to go in the middle of the pan, and this will separate my 2 different lengths of strips. Don't overcrowd the triangles. They can stick on top of each other. They're not going to curl as much as the long strips. And here I am putting them in the middle so I can know my 2 strip sizes apart. And these are the strips in the number 2 baggie. They're going to go on the other side of the triangles, and this will make it easy to portion them out evenly. This is going to make 24 baggies of chips, and Dale eats 16 chips for a serving. That's going to be 8 grams of net carbs, but you could do 8 chips as a serving. Here I am portioning them out. So because he's having a double serving, I'm going to take 4 of the little curved edges and 4 of the longest strips. Then I'm going to take 4 of the medium strips and 4 of the smaller strips. And that's 2 servings of chips, 8 grams of net carbs, and gently squeeze as much air out as I can. Here's another angle. So 4 little, what I call half moon chips, then 4 long chips. This is much easier than trying to pick apart the sizes if you have them all mixed together. It's really hard to tell once they've been fried and they're curly. Then 4 strips of the medium-sized chips and 4 strips of the small chips. And this will be a double serving, 16 chips for 8 grams of net carbs. They hold up pretty well in frying. I had very few broken pieces. Now let's bag up some triangles. Dale will have 16 triangles for a serving of nachos, 8 grams of net carbs for 16 triangle chips. But in this bag, I'm putting 8 chips that he's going to have with his enchiladas. So 8 chips is 4 grams of net carbs. He loves it when they puff like that. That happens a lot if you cook them last. It's really hot oil that causes them to puff. That can make it tough to serve nachos on. Store your baggies in an airtight container. I even keep them in the freezer, but they are shelf stable if they're fried really crisp.